getting going, and what happened there, do you think?
And it's just like every other team. I mean, that's what they're going to do. They're going to take me out of the game. They're going to try to find ways to get me frustrated. So it's nothing new. I mean, it's just they just going to tag me on the screens and they don't let me get anything easy. So, I mean, did a good job in the first half, I guess.
Did they get you frustrated?
I mean, it's a learning lesson from there. Got to learn how to play through stuff like that. I mean, defense is really key on you. And, it's like everywhere you go, it's like it's another defender there trying to help. So, I mean, I just got to find other ways, to get my teammates involved. So, that's what it is.
Did you feel it just wasn't your night because there were a lot of them right off the rim?
I guess so. I mean, I guess you could say that. It's not going to go down every night, but just got to find other ways, to make it easier for myself, I guess. So, like I said, I mean, I just got to find other ways, to get my teammates involved if it's not going down for me. So.
All right, guys, they shot 31 free throws. How frustrating is that for you guys for the defense?
That's tough. I mean, when you're trying to get back in the game and the game keeps getting stopped, and I mean, we're trying to get on runs, and then every time they're going to the free throw line, and I mean, you gotta give credit to Stanford. They made their free throws, so that made it really tough on us at the end.
David, their bench scored your guys like 26-3. Can you talk about just if there's a wearing effect on not having much of a bench right now? A couple of guys hurt. You guys are playing heavy minutes. Is it having an impact on anything?
I don't think so. I mean, Bach got like 4 fouls in the first half in like 5 minutes, so I don't know. That wasn't really. I think he was playing hard, and I think everybody was playing hard. We just made some mistakes. I mean, coach was saying we only turned the ball over like 7 times, so we were just making mental mistakes, leaving people open that we shouldn't have left open. But I thought everybody was playing really hard. I mean, the energy and the effort seemed to be there, from my perspective at least. And I mean, I see everybody busting their butts trying to get the ball. I mean, even at the end, we're still busting it, trying to get the ball. And it's just going to go away.
Key factor that
I mean,
gives them an advantage.
maybe in the long run, but not today. I didn't see it. I thought everybody was playing really hard.
David, this was your best offensive game in a while. You came out aggressive from the start. What was different tonight?
I don't know. Teammates were doing a good job giving me the ball. I just felt comfortable where I was. And I mean, when they're hugging Allen and Justin, I mean, they don't want those guys to touch it, so it makes it easier for me to go one-on-one. It makes it easier for Rich to go one-on-one. And Robert and Bach, it just makes it easier in the post when these guys are getting, just hugged on the sidelines.
I mean, even the last couple games, they've been getting a lot of coverage, and you guys have been missing those shots.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just game by game. I mean, we just got to pick it up. Like Coach was telling us, it's all performance. I mean, there's not one thing. If we would rebound it better, I mean, then we'll win this game. It's just like we just gotta finish the plays.
Hey, when the women played, they had back-to-back games. You guys have to wait a while before you play them again. Is that frustrating, or do you want a rematch with these guys right away?
Yeah, I want a rematch with them. I mean, personally, I felt that was a frustrating game. Just how the end of it all played out, like the last 8 minutes, is just really frustrating for me personally. But I mean, we're just gonna move on. Next game is the biggest game.
David, you hit your first 5 shots, but only got three touches to take shots in the second half. Was there a change in offensive strategy? Was it just because the wing guys were starting to hit some shots, or did they knock on inside you?
I don't know really what it was. I don't, on the court, don't really notice. It's just, I'm just out there trying to play. Hope these guys get everything done. I mean, just as a team, I'm just wanting everybody to do well and perform well. And I mean, when you're on a set of screen for Allen and I see him, the guy's got both arms around him. I just want to nail the guy on the screen. But I mean, it's just, it's tough for everybody.
Allen, despite the team's defensive focus on you, is there anything you can do to change up or to get some looks or shots in this?
I mean, I don't really know what to say to that. I mean, it's just, I come off a screen and the guy who passes to me, his defenders are like right there waiting for me to curl. So, I mean, they're trying to take everything away from me. And, I guess you could say it's been working the last couple of games for these teams. But, like I said, I just got to find other ways. I mean, there's, a lot of ways to beat defenses. And, you saw in the second half, I started to get more aggressive. Started to score a little bit more. So, definitely have to realize that, you know, I can't wait till the second half all the time, you know, to be aggressive. I got started in the first. But, like I said, though, I just got to get my teammates involved when they take stuff away.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, guys, thanks.
Thanks, guys. Mike, their bench outscored you guys 26-3. How much do you think your lack of having players is catching up to you?
Well, I'd like to have 26 points off the bench. You know, I mean, can't make excuses. We just don't have a lot of flexibility. I can't make adjustments. I can't rotate people, get much production, and so it puts a lot of pressure. I mean, if I wanted to rest Allen Crabbe, for example, I can't really do it. I have to kind of have him on the floor. So, I mean, there's no question that that's been something. I mean, we're missing some toughness. We're missing some intelligence. We're missing some fundamentals. And we just don't have it. I mean, Bach had a pretty good game the other day. Bach struggled a little bit today. Jeff's the one guy, he'll get a loose ball and he'll take a charge, but he's a little bit reluctant to try to make a play, so it puts a lot of pressure on other people.
How frustrating for you as a coach that they doubled the free throw shot attempts for you guys?
It's hard to win, you know. I don't think Stanford is particularly physical. I think that would be something that Johnny is kind of concerned and struggles with. But it's obvious that we're not very physical, so I mean, that's been kind of the thing too. So I'm going to have to go back and try to review what the foul is and what a foul isn't, because there's some things I don't understand, frankly, as to what the contact is and how it differentiates itself. But you got to play through that.
Mike, obviously every team you play is going to have a defensive focal point on Allen. What can you do as a coach to try to change up or get him? What can you do about that?
Not much. From the standpoint of, I mean, my feeling's always been if you really want to take a guy out of the game, you can. Because all you have to do is take yourself out of help and face him, and every time he catches it, you got another guy helping. I've always felt you could take one guy out of the game if you really wanted to do that. What has to happen, and what generally you try to do then, is make them pay with other people, because at that point you've got that guy's not in a help side situation, so there are things you should be able to do. We were 18 for 52 inside the three-point line. As you all watched the game, I would ask you, how many of those were shots that they made we didn't make, that were very similar type shots? So it goes back, same thing. How do you make them pay for loading up on Allen and maybe Justin as well? At some point, we've got to get production in the paint. We've got to rebound the ball and finish. We've got to go to get the foul line. We've got to all that stuff, and we're just struggling with it. We're getting pretty good looks down inside there. They're not great looks, but I mean, you've got to make plays.
You were getting that early, weren't you, Mike? And then it kind of ended.
I mean, inside stuff. Well, they changed a little bit. Obviously, Kravish was hurting them, and because they were, when we had somebody, but that's what I'm saying. When he ran over to help, Kravish was open, and David has got pretty good touch and so forth, and he goes 5 for 5, but then he goes 1 for 7 the rest of the way. Again, you'd have to say, were they all really highly contested shots, the other 7, or did we get tired, or what happened? I don't know.
Mike, you figure to get anything out of Brandon Smith or Ricky Kreklow the rest of the way, or it's still game by game? Or?
John, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, Brandon's been out a month now with a concussion. So, somewhere along the line you figure, you know, you're going to miss a couple games and, you know, the headache's going to go away and there you go. But that's just not been the case. He's got symptoms, so I can't, until they go away, he's not going to be able to play. Ricky, when he rolled back over on the thing, kind of opened that original wound back up, and now the bone's got to heal again. So it's like, you know, he started to do some more stuff this week and didn't respond very well. The foot didn't like it very much. So we've obviously got to spend more time there. I can't, you know, I mean, I still think that the group of people we had today were good enough to win this game had we done the things that we're capable of and done the things that we're supposed to do relative to attention to detail and some of the loose balls that we should have had and that type of thing. So we had a couple of rebounds and Eustis just took the ball away from us. It's hard. That's hard. It makes it hard on you.
Like you got within 43-42, and then I think there were 4 possessions in a row you didn't score. And a couple of us that didn't look.
One we cross-courted a turnover and they laid it up, which is just a killer. You turn the ball over is one thing, and we only had 7 turnovers. It wasn't like we were errant with the ball. That just happened to be a bad play at a bad time. And when turnovers lead to baskets, that's a dagger. You know, if you turn it over, you go, oh shoot, you get back and you defend, and you defend. Well, then maybe it doesn't hurt you, you know. But then they get that, and the next time we don't get a shot. And in that sequence, I don't know. You know, part of the problem is you want to, you know, maybe the bench is saying, you know, we're tired, let's take a timeout, let's do this. What do you tell them? Get it inside and let's get this shot that we just got 3 times and didn't make. Yeah, you know, there's just only so many things that we can do. So yeah, that was where we had our best chance to maybe make them feel us, get a little momentum. Again, not having people off the bench that, you know, there is some fatigue factor. We did have some foul issues at that point, you know, and they had a couple guys that made some plays.
You also did, Crabbe and Cobb were just starting to get it going, seems like, and neither of them took a shot in that stretch. And Solomon took a 3 at the top of the key. And I'm assuming that not always the right guy was taking the shot in those situations.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, again, it's a little bit of court savvy. It's a little bit of understanding what we're trying to do. You know, again, I don't know with 1 second on the shot clock when you jump and foul the guy if you know what's going on. Ty ended up with 11 shots. You know, maybe at some point Ty says, you know, that thing's not going down for me. I gotta get somebody else and make them a player. Part of that's just, again, understanding the game, understanding your team, understanding your teammates. In Ty's case, he's just a young player. You know, some of that stuff the other day it went down. Tonight it didn't go down. And we've talked about the floater and how people are going to take a charge on you, and it's just a learning process for him.
Justin got aggressive in the second half once that shot finally fell. Do you feel like this could be a turning point for him after the slump?
I hope so. I mean, he was 4 for 15. I don't know that that's a tremendous turning point, but he did make some baskets late. And, you know, he had one point, I know he was 5 assists and no turnovers. He was trying to get in the paint. I mean, some of that switching that they were doing was putting, you know, big people on guards. The one time he took, I don't know who took it at the top against a bigger player, and they were able to score the ball. But I mean, you know, at some point you had Andy Brown guard, and you had 3 ACL surgeries. Should be able to beat him at point of attack, is my guess. But Andy Brown did a good job defensively.
Mike, are there counters that Allen could run off of those curls when they're like waiting for him when he comes around? You go the other way?
Well, there we go both ways with it. I mean, it's like the thing that they're able to do, which is a little bit of a luxury, I think, is they're able to guard him with a 6'7" guy and switch a 6'8" guy out on him. I mean, for all intents and purposes, Eustis can guard probably better than Andy Brown. Powell can probably guard just as good as Andy Brown. So they have, when they switch, they're able to switch really likes. They don't lose much switching any of those big guys out in terms of the way that they're playing them and so forth. You know, we tried to go down on what we call a down against Bright, and by the time we threw the ball to Ty, he was 14 feet from the basket instead of being in the cover. It's those kinds of things that kill you. I mean, at that point, there's no advantage, and he ends up turning it over because they brought a second guy, which is what they do with Bright. They bring a second guy, and we fell down, we dropped it out of bounds. You know, and that's not where he was supposed to get the ball. There was supposed to be a height issue, take it down and over a smaller player.
Any other questions?
The coach, the women's coach said it was really important that they had the back-to-back after they lost at Haas. You have to wait a while, so how frustrating is that not to be able to play these guys after this kind of loss?
Was that our women's coach or their women's
your,
coach?
Your women's coach.
What, do you think she had a choice saying that?
Well, no, she said that.
I mean, do you think that she'd have said, "Ah, boy, this is really a disadvantage for us having to play him again"? I mean, she's gonna say what she's gonna say.
But she said it was motivation. She said it was like a pickup game, so it helped them motivate them to get ready to play back here.
And I'm happy for her. I really am. She did a hell of a job back here. They're good. They are good. They are athletic and they are good. Thank you.
All right.